What is good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, and today we have a Five Guys mukbang. We got fries here with ketchup. I have a peach vitamin water. See that there? A little peach vitamin water. I love it. And I have a cheeseburger here. Double cheese, regular cheeseburger, which is 2 patties. I got grilled onions, barbecue sauce, and green peppers. However, you probably realize, Scott, this doesn't look like a cheeseburger. It is on a lettuce wrap. I've never had a lettuce wrap before. Wanted to try today. I've been wanting Five Guys, so I figured this is the best way to do it. And that's the reason I've been away. So I haven't missed you guys, but I've been just planning and trying to flush out my body and build up my immune system. As you know, there's a lot going on in the news right now. I'm trying to look out for my immune system, trying to eat more healthy, trying to be more conscious of those things, and trying to find a way how I can still have foods I enjoy and love, but also implement onto the channel, but bringing a healthy element to that. So I figure taking out the bread aspect. Oh yeah, Scott, you got fries here. Whatever, small steps, baby steps here. You know what I mean, work with me. I'm also going to be reviewing a movie I watched last night and this morning, Ford versus Ferrari. But before we get into that, I'm going to get into this cheeseburger and let you know what I think about it. And I will be honest, obviously I know the burger part is going to be great because it's Five Guys. They know what they're doing, but we're going to find out. So the burger is kind of hard to see, but it is in there. You know what I mean? You get the burger kind of, you get the point. You know what I mean? But all right, let's get into this. You hardly miss the bread. Hardly miss the bread. I'll go on that in a second. Good stuff. Now, maintaining it together is the hard part right now. That's the only part that's really kind of like getting to me, is like maintaining the tightness. What you gonna do? Hitting the spot. So guys, I love the burger, obviously. It is an adjustment with the lettuce wrap. It's not the taste of the lettuce. I don't mind that. I don't mind the texture of it versus the bun. It's keeping it all together. You know what I mean? I'm not about a messy sandwich, but we got a little bit of a mess here, so I'm gonna just adjust myself to it and do the best I can here. Ooh. Five Guys, baby. Five Guys. They knew what they were doing. Whoever those Five Guys were, they knew what they were doing. I'm glad they offered this option. Just I'm saying, the only thing is like the slipping and sliding a little bit. That's why I don't get tomato on stuff. But like, so the lettuce is kind of having that because it's like sliding against the beef patties. But still very good. And I'm enjoying having the lettuce on now. Mm. Mm. Oh, ah! Is there any beef patty left on there? No. Mm. Let's get into the movie. Got the burger done. Yeah, guys, I would recommend it. But like, the only thing is, like, only thing I would recommend to Five Guys or anybody who makes that type of burger, find a way to make that lettuce like adhere to the burger, so there's less sliding. Make it like it's so, because that's what I love about a good sandwich, is just like it being tight. I know a lot of people like those big messy sandwiches. That's not for me, but so small critique, but it's something that Five Guys could easily get fixed, and it doesn't take away from the burger. The burger is still well done. Well-made burger. All right, let's talk about this movie that I absolutely enjoyed. I got some vinegar here. We'll sprinkle this over the fries. A little bit liberal with it, but whatever. Ford versus Ferrari is directed by James Mangold and stars Matt Damon and Christian Bale. I rented this off Redbox. It just came out, recently available for streaming, all that. Came out late 2019. So Matt Damon plays Carroll Shelby. Now, if you know the name Shelby and cars, they're synonymous. Shelby has made some of the best sports cars in American history. His like American Muscle and Shelby just go hand in hand. And he was the only car race driver to win at the 24-hour Le Mans car race. He had to stop racing because of medical purposes, so he just got into manufacturing and selling cars. Now, Ford approached him with their race team. Now, Ford, at the time, we all know Ford was the first American cars, etc. and so forth. They had the assembly line. You know, they were about quantity, not quality. So they proposed to them from the American business guru Lee Iacocca, and he said, we need a racing team. So he proposed teaming up with Ferrari. So he goes to Italy and proposes the deal to Ferrari to do a Ford Ferrari team, and Enzo Ferrari, who started the company, basically laughs in his face and said, I'm Peter Luger's Steakhouse, you're McDonald's. We're class, you're kind of dirt. Stay away from us. So they go back to America and tell this to Henry Ford II, which is the Henry Ford that we all know from history's grandson, about this. He's highly insulted, so he's like, I'm starting my race team. Gets Carroll Shelby involved, who Carroll Shelby then gets his buddy, because he's not driving anymore, but he's making cars. And at the time, Ford had just come out with the Mustang. So, and it's like mid-6, I think like 64 was the movie. So Shelby goes to his buddy, Ken Miles. Ken Miles and Shelby are friends. And this is the part about the movie that I really like, so I'll get into it now. It's always nice to see things in movies and stories where, you know, and just in general in life, when you meet somebody who not only knows what they want to do with their life, but gets to do it and has to do it. Like building cars, racing cars, working on cars is in these guys' blood. And the fact that they met each other, they know each other, is beautiful. Now, Christian Bale plays Ken Miles. Christian Bale, guys, is one of the great actors. I had to come to that conclusion. He's not my favorite actor, but he's a great actor. For those who don't know, he played Batman in the Christopher Nolan trilogy of Batman movies. He was in American Psycho. He was in he played Batman. He's played a crackhead boxing trainer from Boston. He played a Wall Street narcissistic psychopath who kills people. And he's Australian. The dude has range for days. And in this movie, he's playing a British person living in California who's a car race driver. And yeah, just their passion for racing and working on cars. Now, Ken Miles never made it big like Shelby, and kind of doesn't have any backing and stuff like that, because he's kind of a rebel. He doesn't like following rules. And right away when he's approached by Shelby, he's like, I don't want nothing to do with Ford, because he knows they're corporate. He's gonna you got this person, you got that person, they got lawyers. They're always worried about this. They're worried about their image. And it's not about the car racing. It's not about the passion that he has. It's all this corporate hoo-ha in front of it. But after much work, Shelby gets him involved with the team. And just seeing him in the car when he's racing, or just like, because Shelby's factory is like at an airstrip, because he needs all this space, because he's taking cars going up to upwards of 200 miles per hour. You know what I mean? So he has to be able to go fast. And I'm not a car guy, but getting to see these cars is beautiful, man. They got like this, they're just built for speed. And just seeing the way they talk to each other. And the movie isn't like, like I said, I'm not a car guy, but the movie doesn't talk to you in a way like, oh yeah, if you don't know cars, then you're not going to be able to like this movie. You cannot know cars and appreciate the passion that these people have. Anytime I see stories like this where people just love what they're doing, it endears itself to me, because I don't have that. I love movies, but I don't love movies the way these guys love cars. I don't have to watch movies. These guys have to be in cars. So the scenes where he's like, Ken Miles and Shelby are going back and forth about, oh yeah, we need to take this out of the car. We need to add this to the car. It's just a beautiful thing. And Ken Miles is like literally living the dream. He has a wife who not only supports his passion, knows about his passion. She also loves cars. She knows about cars. And he has a son. He takes his son everywhere. Just like the family element there. It's done in such a way where it's not overdone. Like, this is what I talk about with stuff in movies where unnecessary romance gets involved in the story, and you don't need it there. You don't necessarily need the romance, but the way they do it here, it's just blended so perfectly. You could tell he has a good relationship with his wife and his son, and they got a good bond. They have good communication. They have good chemistry. Just the same as he does with Shelby. Now, the only person Ken Miles doesn't get along with is the corporate people at Ford. He doesn't like them because, like I said, he's not a part of that vibe. Now, the whole goal here is Henry Ford takes an ego hit by a Ferrari, as I mentioned before, and he wants to build this car. He wants to build a car to beat him at Le Mans. Now, I never heard about Le Mans. It is a 24-hour car race of the best and fastest cars in the world. Yes, 24 hours, takes place it's in France. So it's an endurance test of not only the car, but of the driver. So there's 2 or 3 rotating drivers. I think that's what it was. And so that's what the goal is. And I'm not going to ruin the scenes once you get to Le Mans. The movie is absolutely shot beautifully. But for me, it was just about the camaraderie between Ken Miles and Shelby, and just their bond as friends, and this like the beautiful thing that they got to meet each other, and his relationship with his family, and how his passion for racing doesn't interfere with his family life. He balances his family, makes sure he spends time with his family. His only issue is an issue I can share, where he just can't be around the corporate nonsense. He loves what he loves, and like, it's like when museums and business gets involved with art. It's like the record industry getting involved with music. You know, they own the music. Do they really own the music? Come on, like all these business. It's all lawyers and contract. He hates that aspect of it, and I'm the same way. I was at the vet the other day with my cats. They said to get a regular checkup. And these representatives from like a pet food company came in, and they were talking when I was about to be leaving. And they were saying, oh yeah, we want to have this product here, blah, 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 blah. And just like being around corporate people and people trying to sell something, it just makes me uncomfortable. Oh, so so I relate to that character who just can't be around all that business nonsense, all that garbage and all that fakeness. You know, people worried about an image and this and that. And even when he does kind of come to and realize he needs to be a team player, he realizes why he probably shouldn't have. But yeah, it's a beautifully shot movie. I believe it won an Academy Award for Best Film Editing. The car racing scenes are awesome. Like seeing the old Ferraris was cool back in the 60s. The cars look so much different than they do today. It was beautiful. And like the way the race starts, they have to run across like the street to get to their car and then drive. There's all these crashes in the beginning, getting out. I loved it. Like I said, I'm not big into racing. I used to go to the NASCAR races in Dover, Delaware. My grandfather, he lived in Europe, and that's where he got into racing, and he came back here. And NASCAR is all we have here as far as car racing. Now, I never really got into it. It wasn't, to me, it's not really a sport, just to going around. I can appreciate some level of endurance from the drivers, but it's not really my, I love going to there. I love spending time with my grandfather, and my aunts and my mom will go as well. So it was like a family event. I liked it on that aspect. It was like a tradition. And my grandfather, God bless him, tried to teach me about cars, changing tires and doing oil change. And I know how to change a tire. It takes me a while. He's the one who taught me how to drive. He tried to get me into cars. It just didn't click for me. Like, I'm not a car person. It just didn't click. It's just how my brain works. You know, probably my parents aren't really wired that way, so I'm not really wired. My parents are kind of like on the creative side of things, so that's where my mind goes. And I'm my own person as well. But this movie, I got into cars. I got into it. I like this, the aspect of, and just seeing Christian Bale's character, Ken Miles, when they were testing out the car and trying to find ways to improve it, lighten it, make it faster. Just seeing him talking to the car. He was like, him and the car were one. Like, I love that. It was just like, he was the car and the car was him. It was a beautiful scenes. Oh, this vinegar. I never thought I would be vinegar on my ketchup, on my fries guy, but it's working. Five Guys, man. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, y'all. This is a movie I would recommend anybody, even if like a family. There's a little bit of language, so I mean, but it's like dudes working on cars and racing cars at 200 miles per hour. And like one thing I loved, I learned about the 24-hour Le Mans. I didn't know there's a 24-hour car. I love overnight events. Literally, they're just rotating drivers in. It's, oh my goodness, like that part, like I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that stuff. Overnight sports, overnight events. Like I used to love when the Yankees would be playing, and if they weren't on TV, I listened to it on the radio when they would play on the West Coast, because the game would come on at like 10 o'clock at night, and if it went into extra innings, it would go to like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's like I'm listening to sports at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like I shouldn't be doing this. Like it's like super fun, it's super intricate. And when I lived in Arizona, they had this all-night horror movie marathon. They did with sci-fi and horror, where they would do horror movies from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. the next day. Now it's 12 hours. Like there was like 7 movies at the end. So when I found out about that, oh my goodness, it was so cool. It's like so, it's like like only a couple people are watching this, and it's like you're part of like an exclusive group. So I love the idea of that overnight car race. The scenes at their car race are shot beautifully. Christian Bale is the champion of this movie. Yeah, he's a great actor. He loses himself in this character. Matt Damon's Matt Damon. You know, he's a movie star. He's a good actor. He's solid, but he's a movie star. I realized, you know, I'm watching Matt Damon. When I think of this movie, I'm not going to think Christian Bale's in it. I'm going to think of Ken Miles. I don't even know who that dude was before I watched this. Now I know who he is forever because Christian Bale's performance. Now, how accurate all that stuff is, who knows? I don't know any of it. So for me, it's 100% accurate. And yeah, everything was well done. The camaraderie amongst the team. I love watching. There's a movie called Dinner Rush where it's just like about food, and it's like the passion and essence of food. If you haven't seen that movie, it's really good. A little bit of gangsterness into it, but primarily a food and restaurant movie in New York. The movie Love and Basketball. That couple, Omar Epps and I forget the actress's name who played with him, but like their passion and love for basketball, they couldn't live without it. They needed it. It's a part of their bones, and they found each other. And that's kind of like in this movie, like these two people, Shelby and Ken Miles, met each other. And the perfect name, Miles, for a car race driver. But yeah, it's a great movie, guys. I do recommend it. Please check it out. I'm going to be reviewing more Netflix and streaming movies, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to implement more healthy diet into myself. So in essence, because I'm eating, I have to do that on the channel. So I'm just going to be give you guys a heads up on that. But guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate your time and joining me for this meal and my review of Ford versus Ferrari. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great weekend, and stay safe, stay clean, wash your hands. I'll see y'all soon. Take care and be well.